Against the Storm is an indie roguelike city builder that released on Steam a little while back. Now, I'm not a huge city builder guy. I think the management can get a little bit much after you make some good progress. You know, the city's humming along, but there's some nagging bottlenecks that always make you want to just tear everything down and make it more efficient. But I gotta say, I really like this one. You get to that line, teetering on the edge of, I should blow it all up, but you never really quite cross it. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One being that your cities exist for a specific purpose. You're delivering resources back to the capital, the smoldering city. You play as one of the Queen's viceroys, tasked with creating cities out in the wilderness to harvest resources, return them to the capital, and then venture forth to create more and more cities before the Blightstorm eventually rolls through and wipes everything out. What that means then is your cities have specific objectives, in the form of orders coming from the capital. These are things like, have 15 beavers in your settlement, explore 2 glades, create 10 trade good packages and 15 building supplies packages. They're different every time, and you have a choice over which ones you want to pursue. So what this means is, you might be running into issues with your food production, you know, your citizens are starting to starve, but if you're just 3 building supplies packages away from completing an order that maxes out the Queen's favor and quote-unquote wins you the city, there's no real incentive to blow everything up and solve the food issue. The other thing this does a nice job of creating is tension. Every choice you make matters, and if you stop being intentional about what you decide to do, you end up in trouble, as I found out the hard way a few times. You need food to keep people alive, but you also need to be building coats to meet an order. How do you prioritize which buildings to build first? How do you prioritize which tasks get done when? All the while, the Queen's impatience grows, and if you hit the max impatience for the city, you quote-unquote lose that city, and you gotta start over. The other major piece keeping things fresh are the glades. Forest outcroppings with resources you need to keep the city afloat, as well as complete more orders. And they have varying levels of danger, with more dangerous glades offering higher rewards, but there are negatives for your city for not handling them in the allotted time once they've been opened, again, increasing the tension. Do you focus on increasing food production? Do you focus on goods to complete orders? Do you try and handle the glades? You've got such a delicate balance, and one wrong move, on the higher difficulties especially, can really put you in a hole. One of the things I learned here was being cautious about when you're entering the dangerous glades. If you happen to start 2 at the same time, which I did a couple of times, you might not have the resources you need to complete the tasks, and then you end up with stacking negative effects that just obliterate your citizens' tolerance. And if your citizens' tolerance is too low for too long, they start to leave the city. All the while, though, if you can just hold it together long enough to win, you never have to worry about your spaghetti city ever again. Now, it wouldn't be a roguelike if it wasn't actually more of a roguelite with some carryover progression. So as you complete the cities, win or lose, you get some resources you can then use in the capital. These are spent on various upgrades to make your next run easier. You also have various challenges that can give you rewards, a lot of which seem to give you XP to increase your level and unlock more paths in the upgrade tree. And for what it's worth, I think the upgrades are really well balanced. I've felt them enough in future runs to notice a difference, but not so much that things become easy quickly. So overall, again, I have to say I really enjoy this game. I picked it up half off on Steam the other day, and it does seem to go on sale pretty frequently. After having seen it pop up over and over again as a game that Steam thinks that I would enjoy, and it really was worth it. I'm only a few hours in, but I'm looking forward to many more, and hopefully completing it at some point here in the future. So if you enjoy the beginning of city builders, but you don't want to get bogged down in managing massive cities late game in those, highly recommend you give this one a go. I don't think you'll be disappointed.